Okay, so I noticed there's this thing that happens in life when you have a goal, you have an idea, something that you want to bring into reality. You go on the journey, and for me, every single time, right before I was about to hit that goal, it felt like everything in my life, everything in the world was about to go to shit and fall apart. And every single time, time and time again, this happened to me. And I think more recently, I've just figured out why this happens. And I think when you can understand why this happens, when you're going through that period, when you're going through that time, you can understand how to manage it, how to understand why it's actually happening, and you can move through that time in a place of faith, knowing that on the other side of this dark time is something amazing. And I think for me and many other people, time and time again, this is exactly how it goes. And again, once you understand this, when you're going through that dark time, where you're going through that dark period in your life, right before something amazing is about to happen, it almost doesn't become a dark time anymore, and it just becomes something that you understand that you need to move through in life to get to your goal. So here's a little story of my own life, and this happened recently, and I think this is one of my favorite ones yet. So 6 months ago, it's like I want to start a business. I was basically at a point I had enough money to start this business idea that I had, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put all my money on the line right here. I'm gonna start this business, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then I'll go from there. But I really only had faith that this was going to work out, and I really went in there with a mindset of being very present, knowing that this was a possibility, knowing that it can work out. And I took the risk. I went in. I said, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to see what happens. And for the first month, literally everything in my life, if I were to, from my analytical mind, from my 3D world materialistic perspective, it looked like everything was falling apart. Everything was going to shit. I wasn't making any money. Nothing looked promising. And like I said, from a materialistic worldview, everything looked like it was going to absolute shit and I should have given up then and there. But throughout all of this, I lived in my own little world and I knew that this was going to work out. I was extremely delusionally optimistic about the outcome of my business and what was possible with that. And after a month and a half of it looking like everything was going to shit, out of nowhere, one day randomly, I made $1,000 in a day, and then the next day I did the same, and then the next day after that I did the same, and then ever since there for the last 6 months it has been nothing but abundance in that business, and it's been really amazing, and it started to work out, and it's given me the time and perspective and position to be able to work on it harder, work on it full time, and then do more things like this and build other things and travel. And again, like I said, right before that all started to work out, everything looked like it was going to shit. And I'm telling you, this happens time and time again. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, when you're going through that dark time, you can understand why it happens. And I got a couple little ideas, beliefs here that I think you can incorporate into your own life. And again, when you go through those dark times, you can understand it's there for a reason. It's there to help you grow. And on the other side of that storm is something beautiful, something amazing. So first off, I think that my favorite thing that I realized the other day, the reason that all your old belief, all the everything starts to go to shit, is your old beliefs and your old version of yourself must rise up from your subconscious mind and die. It must come up for one last time and be like, go one last try to pull you down, pull you back into the materialistic worldview. And because as you go on this journey, as you set bigger goals for yourself, as you try to bring more crazy things into fruition, and you create new beliefs, you create a new identity of what's actually possible in this world. And all your old beliefs that used to be there in that old version of yourself, when you're going through that dark time, all that is just your old beliefs coming up one last time and being like, you sure? You sure? It's just the devil on your shoulder being like, I don't think this is gonna work out. I don't think this is, and it's going to sit there for that time. It's going to try to come up. It's going to try to take you down. It's going to try to get into your analytical mind and tell you that it's not going to work out. But again, if you look at the little angel or your higher power or your faith, and you go through that dark time with your new beliefs and your new identity and your new ideas that anything is actually possible in this world, then you can move through that dark time. So for me, it was just a simple understanding that my old beliefs had to come up and they would test me, and the world would test me, God would test me to see, hey, where are you actually at? During this time where you're being tested right before everything's going to work out, where are you actually at? Are you going to sit here and go through this really rough time for however long it needs to take and let all your old beliefs die and let everything that needs to die for you to step into that new version of yourself? And I think for the big part of it, that's really all it is. It's just a big test of, hey, where are you actually at? What do you really believe in? Do you believe this is going to work out? Because here's your test. Here it is. You wanted these things. You wanted this new version of yourself. You have to let the old version of yourself die to get to that new version of yourself. So I think that's the biggest thing. And for me, when I was going through these times, I didn't even understand that. I just had so much faith and so much optimism. It was very delusional too. A lot of delusional optimism to get me through those times. But looking back, I can see that's all it was. All it was my old version of myself trying to come up one last time and being like, "Hey, you sure? You sure this is gonna work out? You sure you want to, take the risk, take the bet that this is gonna go well?" And I didn't even waver. I didn't even look at that. So I think when you're going through that dark times, like I said, you're gonna be tested. The things are gonna come up that are gonna say, "Hey, dude, you sure? You sure this is really?" And then you have to sit there and then be the new version of yourself that does have the belief that anything is possible. And then you can move through that time knowing that it is going to work out. And if you can go through that period, however long it's going to be for you, and it's going to come up again through different trials and tribulations in your life, relationships, business, different things, the dark times are going to come up again, but they're going to come up with your new old beliefs. And as you change, it's going to look different every single time. But if you can understand that it's always, for me, I just like to look at it as a test of, hey, where are you actually at? What do you actually believe in? And how are you actually going to move in this world? So I feel like I could end the video right there because that's like all you need to say. But I got a couple more things that are actually really good. Some ideas that you can think about as you're, when these things come up or if you're going through that time right now. But I think that's the biggest thing, dude. It's your old identity. It's your old beliefs. You must let the old version of yourself die. Because the old version of yourself is not primed for that amazing future that you conjured up in your mind. And that's why you watch these videos. That's why you read these books, to get the new ideas. Because once you get new ideas, you get new beliefs. And once you get new beliefs, you get a new identity. And that new identity is the future version of yourself, who has everything you ever wanted and more. And then from there, you must let the old version of yourself die. And during that dark time, it is a test to see, hey, where are you actually at? And you must go through that. You must go through that test. And you must remain optimistic in the power of God. Because here's the second thing that I want to talk about. You're either moving in life from a place of faith or fear. And a lot of times, I know my old version of myself used to do this, would always be moving in the world from a place of fear. Is this actually going to work out? Is this actually possible? And every single time, whether I realized it or not, any single time I had that little bit of doubt. Any single time I had that moment of like, is this going to work out? That was me moving in the world from a place of fear. And it wasn't until I let that old belief in that old thing die that I was able to put instead of fear, I was able to put it in faith. Faith in a higher power, faith in God, faith in the universe, faith in the possibility that anything is possible. And then from there, throughout that time, I would make my decisions and I would operate from a place of faith. And it wasn't like, oh, I believe in God, and then you just go and be a piece of shit and do all these things that were actually in fear. No, like every part of my body, you can feel it in every part of your body, the faith that anything is actually possible. It is more than just an idea in your head. It's a feeling that you feel throughout your entire body. The feeling is the secret, as they say. So that's the second thing. There is only one power. And throughout the day, throughout the week, I literally, every hour of the day, I try to check in myself. Are you moving from a place of faith? Or are you moving from a place of fear? Because even after you manifest some amazing things in your life, the fear is still going to come back up every now and then. You're always going to be tested. But the more you're conscious of this and the more you actually have an idea of how this actually works, you can do these little check-ins all the time of like, hey, dude, is this fear or is this faith? How are you moving in your life right now? And ask yourself that and be honest with yourself. And if you're moving in fear, that's cool. Take a step back. Take a deep breath and relax. And then shift yourself over to move in a place of faith. Read that book, watch that YouTube video, do whatever you need to do to get yourself back in that rhythm. And before you know it, these ideas and these beliefs, the new version of yourself that moves in a place of faith, will become embedded in your body. And you will wake up in the morning and that will be the first thing. And that will be the first thing that you think about. in the morning and at night when you go to bed. And before you know it, you will be able to create even more amazing things in your life. Because again, as you go, this shit's a video game of, you know, raising your consciousness, raising your vibration of whatever you want to call it, to become a better and better human being and create more amazing things on this planet and become a much better person. So as you go through and you fucking manifest new things, you bring new things, you let the old version of yourself die, all it is like a video game of consciousness, of getting yourself better and better as you go through and you go through these things in life. Because that's all this is. It's a game. I love looking at life as just like a big video game. Because that's all it is. We're here to learn. We're here to experience. And then, dude, I think that's fucking game right there. You know, if anybody's still watching this video, I just want to say, the people who watch these videos and sit there and just like put their phone down and listen to them and like don't go on their phone and embody these ideas because they're so curious about them, you are going to create amazing things in your life, because I know exactly how you feel. And like there is so little people in our world right now who actually care to like learn about what's actually going on here. So again, if you're the person watching this who has the idea, who sits there and watches these videos, who reads these books and goes in with such childlike curiosity, you're going to create amazing things in this life. And this is your sign, you know. You probably came to this video looking for a sign. Here it is. So yeah, so one last thing for the, again, that's, I like to make my introduction middle way through the video, because that's when people are actually watching, and that's what this YouTube video is about. Spirituality, manifestation, what's really going on here, and my own experiences and the things that I have had to learn in my life to create the life that I'm living now, which I'm getting better and better every single day, and I want to share that with whoever may come across these videos. So that's what this is, that's what I'm doing, so thank you for being here. So those are the first two things that I want to talk about. You let your old beliefs die, you step into the new version of yourself. There is only one power. It's God, it's the universe, it's the world, whatever you want to call it, the higher version of yourself that is there watching over you and move in the place of the world of these things with the new beliefs, the new identity, and absolute fucking faith in the possibility of what can be. And then last thing I want to share, what an amazing thing it is to sit there and have these really hard moments where it feels like everything is falling apart. Because like when everything is falling apart, everything crumbles, that is your moment to build yourself back up exactly how you want. If everything falls apart, everything dies, that is an opportunity for you to build the version of yourself that you want from scratch. Because every single second of every single day is an opportunity to live a new life. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. Every single second is an opportunity to build the version of yourself that you want. And anything's possible. Okay? Because if you can have a vision in your mind of something that you want to bring into fruition, it already exists out there. You just need to tune in and go and get it. So boom. How's that for some motherfucking game? I think that made a lot of sense. Hopefully it did. Is he on something, or is he on to something? I don't know. You let me know. But I hope this helps some of you guys who might be going through a difficult time right now. Just know, on the other side of this dark time is something amazing that is waiting for you. And fuck, I'll tell you, how would the flowers grow without rain? Would we ever have a rainbow without a little bit of a storm? Come on. Let's be fucking real, guys. And you know, I think once you get used to this, or once you understand these things, the dark times make a lot more sense. And hopefully this video helped you a little bit. If somehow you came across this, you clicked on it, take this as your sign. Keep going. Keep getting better. Know there's amazing things on the way for you. Keep doing your best. Besides that, have a good day.